Hello, my name is Aksh Desai and my ID is 26020. Today I will explain you about code segment register. My topic is this code segment register in microprocessor and computer organization subject. So what is actually code segment register? Code segment register is used to address the code segment of the memory, for just example location in the memory where the code is actually stored. So the IP means instruction pointer. The full form of IP is instruction pointer, contains the offset within the code segment of the memory. So this is introduction of about code segment register. Next introduction. I already said code segment is one kind of register, and code segment is used for addressing memory location in the code segment for the memory where the executable program is stored. So what is content of code segment register? So the code segment in short form of code segment is obviously CS. So CS register contains the segment selector for the code segment. The code segment register cannot be loaded explicitly by an application program. Instead of this, it is loaded implicitly by instructions or internal processor operations that change program control. So this is all about code segment or introduction. So such as code segment register, procedure calls, and interrupt handling, etc., or just like a task switching. So this is all about the program control where the code segment is in use. Another is what is the function. So basically in introduction I covered the part what is the function of segment register. So a segment register changes the memory address accessed by 16 bits. Uh, Please notice that it is a 16 bits at a time. One time it's a 16 bits. Why 16 and why descendants? Because its value is shifted left by 4 bits or multiplied by 16 to cover the entire 20-bit address space. The segment register value is added to the addressing register 16-bit value to produce the actual 20-bit memory address. So this is all about introduction of code segment register. One thing it is noticed that code segment is one kind of register. So before I explaining the detailed about code segment register, let um, show the what is the actually segmentation in our real life. What is actually meaning of segmentation? So basically segmentation, yeah, I covered the definition in my PPT. So what is segmentation? So I write this sentence. It is the process. Segmentation is one kind of process in which the main memory of the computer is logically divided into different segments, and each segment has its own base address. Not that one thing is each segment has its own base address, and it is basically used to enhance the speed of execution of the computer system so that the processor is able to fetch and execute the data from the memory easily and fast. So this is all our definition of segmentation. Another another is types of segmentation. What is mainly two different types of segmentation? So one is overlapping segment and another is non-overlapped segment. Sorry, one is overlapped segment and another is non-overlapped segment. So overlapped segment means a segment starts at a particular address. In overlapped segment, a segment is starts based on particular address and its maximum size can go up to 64 kilobytes. But if another segment starts along with the 64 kilobytes location of the first segment, then the two are said to be overlapped segment. Overlapped segment means basically we already think the overlapped segment by its word. We already know this word. Overlapped means override. So this is a definition of overlapping segment. So it is what is the real-time situation overlapping segment? What is the definition? So if I write this statement, if another segment starts along with the 64 kilobytes, which is already started by another location, and the another is another segment, one segment is already started by 64 kilobytes, and another is already another is started along with the 64 kilobytes location of the first segment, then the two are said to be overlapping segment. So the BIU, it is a short form of bus interface unit, contains 4 16-bit special purpose registers called as segment registers. And what does the code segment do actually? So in computing, a code segment, also known as a text segment or simply as a text, it is a portion of an object file or the corresponding section of the program's virtual address. This is all about what does code segment do, and the address space that contains executable instructions. Another, this is our second type of non-overlapped segment. A segment starts at a particular address and its maximum size can go up to 64 kilobytes. But if another segment starts before the 64 kilobytes location of the first segment, then the two segments are said to be actually non-overlapped segment. This is all about the types of segmentation. One is overlapping segment, another is non-overlapping segment. Another, I covered this segment registers. So what are the four segment types of registers? In which first is code segment register, short form is CS. So basically code segment register is used for addressing memory location in the code segment of the memory where the executable programs is stored. Another second is data segment register, short form of data segment register is DS. So basically data segment register points to the data segment of the memory where the data is stored. So it is point to the data segment. We already know that meaning of that word, data segment register. Another is extra segment, short form of extra segment register is ES. It is also refers to a segment in the memory which is another data segment in the memory. And last, SS means stack segment register. So basically it is mainly used for addressing stack segment. We already we know this meaning for up to this full form stack segment. So basically when I read stack segment, uh, one sentence is already upcoming in my mind. Basically is that it's used for addressing stack segment for this memory. It's easy. And the stack segment is that segment of the memory which is used to store text data. This is all about the four segment registers. I covered all of the full form and short form and detailed information in that. So basically allow the use of separate memory areas for the program code and data and stack portion of the program. So this is about segment registers. Another, the CPU use stack for temporarily storing the important data. While addressing any location in the memory bank, the physical address is calculated from two parts. One is segment address, another is offset. So the segment register's address contains 16-bit base address related to different segments. And the advantage of having separate code and data segments is that one program can work on different sets of data. This is possible by reloading the data segment register, short form is DS, to the point to the new data. So any of the pointers and index registers of a BX may contain the offset of the location to be addressed. Another is the advantages of segmentation. After uh, covered the segmentation in detail and types, now I explain what is the advantages of segmentation. So it provides a powerful meaning management mechanism. Sometimes the segments are overlapped. For example, if a segment starts at a particular address, it will contain up to 64K bytes. When another segment memory starts before 64K memory location of the first segment, then the two segments should be overlapped. So we already know this before. I already said this overlapped and overlapped segment, and another is a non-overlapped segment. Another advantage of a segmentation is data related or stack related operations can be performed in different segments, which I already said. Another allowed the memory capacity to be 1 MB even through the addressable associated with the individual instructions are 16 bits wide in segmentation. Correlated operation can be done in separate code segments, and it allows to processes the easily shared data. Another, instead of maintaining, I already covered these things. Instead of maintaining 20-bit registers for a physical address, The process or just maintains to 16-bit registers which are within the word length capacity of the machine. Thus, and then while CS, DS, SS, and these are short form. Full form of this all are I covered in below. Sorry, before. CS means code segment register. DS means data segment register. ES means extra segment register, and SS means text segment register. So basically, these all are the four types of segment registers, and that's why does CS in advantages. These segment registers respectively contain the segment address for the code data, stack, and extra segments of memory. So these all segments are logically separate, and this may or may not be physically separated. So this is all about the code segment registers, as well as I in my PPT I also covered uh, introduction of code segment, as well as what is actually definition and real-time use of segmentation, and what are the types of segmentation: overlapping segment, non-overlapped segment. I already covered the definition with detailed explanation. Another I covered of segment registers, what are the actually four types of registers, and what is the full form as well as short form, as well as detailed explanation about that particular register I already covered in this video, and about more detailed explanation and some advantages of segmentation I have covered. So these all are from my side about code segment register. I hope you will like it. So thank you. Thank you.